Hi folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So today is Saturday, the 22nd of June 2024, and in this video I'm going to decipher for you Isaiah chapter 62, okay? So if you head over to the book of Isaiah and go to chapter 62, it's only a short chapter, only 12 verses, okay? But of course, when we are deciphering Bible prophecies, in any of the book of the prophets, and of course in chapters 10, we actually have to divide them into the correct dispensations. Okay, folks, this is very important. And so, like always, folks, I have a program here for you for all the verses if you like. I actually have 3 pages, folks. Yeah, I guess there's some important things to talk about. And then I have another biblical deciphering for after this one that you don't want to miss, and that you're going to learn a fair bit. Okay, then just to break down Isaiah chapter 62 into the correct dispensation, the verses that is, of course. So verses 1 to 4 are Millennium Kingdom verses, okay? Verses 5 to 7 are actually church age prophecies. In verse 5, we got a rapture of the church verse, okay? We'll go through that in a moment. And then from 8 to 12, then these are actually Millennium Kingdom prophecies. Okay, so that's a breakdown. Now, Isaiah, we know that he can be very poetic. When he prophesies in his book, and sometimes, you got a double job to do. You actually have to decipher the poem and the prophecy itself. So you got 2 things to decipher: the poem and the prophecy. So Isaiah can be a little bit difficult for most people. Neil has done a lot of biblical decipherings in Isaiah. He's actually one of my favorite prophets. He's actually very old school, and so I actually like deciphering Isaiah. Okay. All right, folks. Let's begin. Then it's pretty straightforward. Then, so remember that verses 1 to 4 are Millennium Kingdom. Okay. And it reads, "For Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth." Okay? So basically, what Jesus is saying here is that he's not going to hold his peace. Okay? For Zion's sake and for Jerusalem's sake, he's not going to rest until he comes back with his righteousness, until the righteousness thereof go forth. So basically, Jesus is saying, I'm not going to rest, okay, until I come back for the millennial kingdom with my righteousness thereof uh, going forth as brightness, okay. Of course, we know that Jesus is the light of the world, and the salvation thereof, meaning he's also going to be saving the Jewish people as a lamp that burneth, okay. So basically, for verse 1, for Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest. Why is this? Until Jesus comes back for the millennial kingdom to bring back his righteousness, okay, folks, thereof, and his salvation, okay. He's going to, hold his people. He's actually going to save, if you like, the Jewish people, and his salvation will be a lamp that burns, okay. So this is actually a millennial kingdom prophecy, verse 1, if you like. And so it begins the lineup, if you like, until verse 4, if you like. Okay. So verse 2 then, and the Gentiles. Okay. So once Jesus comes back for the millennial kingdom, okay, and he brings his righteousness thereof, his brightness and his salvation to the Jewish people, the Gentiles then, those that are saved and go on living into the millennial kingdom after Jesus does the judgment of the sheep and the goats, if you like. or even the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, according to Joel chapter 3, verse 2. Okay, so those Gentiles that go on living into the Millennium Kingdom shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called. This thou means Israel, and you Israel shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. Okay, so yeah, basically the Gentiles, like I just said, just to recap, are going to see, the righteousness, of Jesus, if you like, and also the Jewish people, because they have been saved. We know that 1/3 are actually going to make it through into the Millennium Kingdom, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Okay, so basically for verse 2 here, I got, and the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness. Okay, when during the Millennium Kingdom, and Israel will be called by a new name, which Jesus himself shall name. Okay, so this is actually a Millennium Kingdom prophecy. Okay, now we got verse 3. Thou shalt also be a crown of glory. Um, so this thou here refers to Israel, meaning thou, Israel, shall also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, a royal diadem, or a crown, if you like, again, in the hand of thy God. Okay, so the Jewish people, are going to be highlighted by God. Okay, they're going to be a royal diadem. Okay, they're going to be a crown unto God, if you like, and also unto the Gentiles. So Gentiles will know that, the Jewish people will be a royal diadem, if you like. Okay, so for verse 3, thou shalt be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord. Of course, this thou is referring to Israel, and a royal diadem or a crown, if you like, in the hand of the Lord God, if you like. Okay, so now verse 4, thou shalt no more be termed forsaken. In other words, you Israel, okay, shall no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land anymore be termed desolate. Okay, now this also belongs to the Millennial Kingdom. Now, don't forget, folks, that during the tribulation period, the Jewish people are gonna have to flee. Okay, because of the Antichrist, okay, the Abomination of Desolation, okay. So, the Jewish people will be somewhat forsaken um, and desolate, okay. Not altogether complete, but to a great extent, yes, okay. So this is why this is actually a Millennial Kingdom prophecy. So yeah, you shall no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah, for the Lord delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. Okay, so of course, this is going to happen during the Millennial Kingdom. Okay, when Jesus reestablishes Israel, if you like, and they are not going to be no longer forsaken or desolate. Okay, Jesus is going to delight in thee. When can this happen? This delightment in Jesus during the Millennial Kingdom, and thy land shall be married. Okay, so yeah, just to recap, folks, the first four verses are Millennial Kingdom. Now it actually gets interesting, 5, 6, and 7 from then on, because these are actually church age prophecies. Okay, so let me turn over the page then on my program here. Okay, and it's quite simple to follow, folks. For those that know the scriptures regarding the rapture. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, as an example, so shall thy sons marry thee. Okay, so once we have believed in Jesus, we believe in the gospel of salvation, found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4, we are now the sons of God. Okay, if you read Galatians chapter 4, verse 5, we are sons of God. And as the bridegroom, which is Jesus, rejoices over the bride, that is the body of Christ, so so shall thy God rejoice over thee. So this is actually a rapture verse, if you like. So in my program here, I put down the verses 5 to 7 are actually church age prophecies. Okay, verse 5. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, I use the King James Bible if you're wondering about the Old English. So shall thy sons marry thee. So we are sons of God, okay? Those that are going out of the rapture because we believe in the gospel of salvation, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4. So we are now sons of God. If you read Galatians chapter 4, verse 5. And of course, this prophecy here ties into the rapture verses. There are more than this, of course, but some of the more popular ones are Isaiah chapter 26, verses 19 and 20, Ephesians 1:14, 1 Thessalonians 16 and 17, and of course Titus 13 and 14. Okay, as the bridegroom, which is Jesus, he's going to rejoice over the bride, which is the body of Christ. So shall thy God rejoice over thee. Okay. So when it is going to happen? This verse 5. This is Jesus rejoicing over the bride at the rapture of the church. Okay. So this is actually a church age prophecy. Okay. Now, verses 6 and 7 tie into one another, and I'll explain why now. They're actually interesting verses. It says here, I have set watchmen upon thy walls. So it's talking about Israel here, okay? So Jesus is saying that he has set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. Of course, Israel has a lot of agencies that are watching over, the people, okay? And it says here, we shall never hold their peace. So these agencies, if you like, that Israel has, acting as watchmen, they are never going to hold their peace. They are going to be always watching, day and night, if you like. You that might mention of the Lord, those that worship God, keep not silent. So basically, the watchmen or the agencies of Israel who are watching over Israel are never going to hold their peace day or night because they worship God. Okay, they are not going to keep silent. They're going to be watching and reporting things and looking after the interest of Israel. Okay, and look at this commandment here. So verse 6 ties into saying because it says here, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a prize in the earth. So basically, Jesus is saying here that these watchmen in Israel or the agencies of Israel that are watching over Israel because these are they that worship God, okay, is saying here this is a commandment, okay, by Jesus, and give these people, these watchmen, no rest until Jesus, this he is Jesus, until Jesus established, in other words, until he comes back, until he make Jerusalem a prize in the earth. So this is a commandment for these watchmen here who are worshiping God. They have to watch, day and night with no rest until Jesus comes back. So it's actually quite interesting, folks. And so 5, 6, and 7 are actually church age prophecies, if you like. Now, you could argue that, that this is also for the tribulation period, that, the Israel also needs to have watchmen, during the tribulation period as well, if you tie them together because they need to do this until Jesus comes back, until he establishes, okay? Uh, till he make Jerusalem a prize on earth. So you could say that, these two verses are actually, church age and tribulation period verses, if you like. But I view them more as church age, because uh, the tribulation period is going to be, a little bit different in that the Antichrist is going to be ruling. And so, although Israel will have the watchmen, it's also going to be a little bit difficult with the things that are going to be happening during the tribulation period. So you could argue, yes, that there are double dispensation verses. Israel needs to be watching because they got a commandment here until Jesus comes back to make Jerusalem a prize in the earth. So yes, you could say that they are for both. And they will do it in both dispensations. Of course, they're doing this now in the church age, and they will also do this during the tribulation period. Um, but yeah, I will say that, you know, I will put them all under the church age, although they are for both. In terms of that, Israel can do a better job right now. I think in the tribulation that they're going to need to do it as well, but it's also going to be a little bit difficult as well, in my view. So that's why I put them into the church age, because it's a good time to do this. For Israel to be watchmen whilst the Antichrist is not ruling during the tribulation period. But nonetheless, they will have to do it until Jesus comes back, because this is actually an order, and give him no rest to the watchman until he comes back. Okay, to make Jerusalem a prize in the earth. So, but anyway, I just put them under the church age, mainly because this is happening now, and the tribulation is going to be a little bit more difficult. But anyway, moving along then, verse 8 to 12, then they become Millennium Kingdom prophecies as well. And it reads here, the Lord has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat. So when can this happen? When Jesus comes back, he's not going to just allow the Jewish people to give, their food away to their enemies. This is no longer going to be happening, because Jesus is going to be ruling Israel in the Millennium Kingdom. And the sons of the stranger shall not drink thy wine, okay, for the which thou hast labored. So, during the Millennium Kingdom, Jesus is not going to allow the Jewish people just to give, the food away, and the drink, if you like, to strangers, you know. Uh, Whatever the Jewish people produce will be for them during the Millennium Kingdom, okay? Now, verse 9, but they that have gathered shall eat it. In other words, the Jewish people, okay? But they, the Jewish people that have gathered, their food, if you like, shall eat it and praise the Lord, okay? So they're going to be eating their own food in Israel and praising the Lord, their King. And they that have brought it together shall drink it in the courts of my holiness, okay? So, all the food and drink that the Jewish people are gathering together, they're also going to be, eating and drinking in the courts of His holiness, where Jesus is, think of the future third temple, okay? So, of course, this then is a Millennium Kingdom prophecy. Verse 10, go through the gates, prepare you the way of the people, cast up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up a standard for the people. So basically, this is kind of like saying, hey, Jesus is coming, if you like. Go through the gates, if you like, people. Fix up or repair the highways or the roads that are leading to Jerusalem, if you like. Get rid of the stones and things like that. Lift up a standard for the people. In other words, make things right, to a high standard, because Jesus is coming, and also think of also Gentiles that will be coming in, to Israel. Okay, so it's saying here, prepare the way, repair the highways, get rid of stones and things like that that are lying around, and you know, uh, lift things up to a high standard, for everyone that's coming into Israel, if you like. Okay. Verse 11: Behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say you to the daughter of Zion, behold, the salvation cometh. Okay, so behold, the salvation cometh. When can this happen? At Jesus' second coming. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. So read Revelation 22, verse 12, and how it ties to, behold, Jesus' reward is with him. Okay, so read Revelation 22, verse 12. And then verse 12 here, and they shall call them the holy people. In other words, the Gentiles shall call, the Jewish people, okay, the holy people, the redeemed of the Lord. Those shall be called, sought out, a city not forsaken. Of course, Millennium Kingdom prophecy, but um, we know that according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, the redeemed of the Lord is going to be one third of those Jewish people that will be living in the land, if you like, in Israel during the tribulation period. Only one third will make it through, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, and this will be the redeemed of the Lord, and thou shalt be called, in other words, Israel shall be called, sought out, a city not forsaken. Alright, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.